Greetings Halo fans. Today we are taking a look at the Mattel Halo Spartan Linda action figure. I'm really excited to have this because this is a very awesome figure, and of course Linda is a part of Blue Team, which includes Kelly, Fred, and the Master Chief. And McFarlane did not produce a figure of Linda or Spartan Vale, so this is the first time we're actually getting a figure of Linda, and it's got really nice packaging. I really like the open display and how Mattel has packaged the figure, and you can see her weapons and different armor sections that can be attached, and you can see part of her bodysuit there, so that's really awesome. So let's flip the package around and look at the back of it. And it has an image of Linda in just her bodysuit with her helmet on, and of course her helmet is non-removable. You see the different armor sections as well as her sniper rifle and her M6 Magnum. And down in the lower left there are product images of the other figures available in Series 1, and these also come with sections to build the Alpha Crawler that you see in the lower right. So I'm going to pause the video and take the figure out of the packaging, and we'll be right back. Okay everyone, we're back with the second half of the video review. Now before we go any further, I want to take a minute to show you guys the instruction sheet that's inside the box. This details all 14 pieces of the Mjolnir armor which attaches to Linda's bodysuit, as well as the two weapons and their pegs. And if you open it up, you can see where each section attaches to. They have very clear directions, as well as how to attach the weapons. Now the weapons have their own pegs. There are two of these which are sealed in a separate little baggie that you have to open and plug one into the M6 Magnum pistol and the other one into the SRS-99 sniper rifle to attach to her back. Now to attach the armor, I left two sections off, the hip armor and one of the foot armor, so that you could see how they go on. Before I get into that, I wanted to show the her left hip and show you guys the detail of her bodysuit. And there's a lot of detail in this figure, and you guys who like to customize, this may be something you want to tackle. Up here on her shoulder, there's a lot of detailing there, very similar and reminiscent to the McFarlane figures. So that looks really nice. So to attach her foot armor, you're basically just going to slip it on like a shoe, and it just snaps into place like that, and it goes over what is her boot. The other sections of armor all have pegs on them, and they plug into these ports at the different locations on her body. This is the other piece of hip armor, and you can see the peg on the inside of it. So you're going to take it and put it on her hip, and you have to place it just right. If not, you're going to have to twist it around until it plugs in. Like that, and it's going to snap into place. And then on the hip armor, there's ports on the outside for the sidearm to attach to, and it's going to plug in like that. So she's a really nice looking action figure. You can see there's a lot of detail there in her helmet and the head sculpt and the chest armor. Nice paint apps there, and the bronze color or copper color on her calves there. A lot of detailing on her thruster pack, and just looks really nice. Now let me say something about the gauntlet sections here. To slide these on, you're going to have to pop her hand off, and I would pull that very gently because it's on a very thin and fragile plastic stem with a ball joint, and you have to pop it completely off and then slide these on, and then pop the hand back in place. And if you pull this too hard, you could break that. And if you do, her hand's not going to be able to go back onto her arm. It's going to be broken permanently. And you're going to be replacing an action figure. Now, Linda stands approximately 6 inches tall. And what I wanted to do is bring out the McFarlane's Halo 5 Spartan Kelly for comparison, as well as the Halo Reach ODST for comparison. So you see height-wise how tall she is. Now, compared to Kelly, I wouldn't say it's too big of a deal. And I guess the ODSTs could be my height, around 5'9", and that would be comparable to the height that she is. But you can see how large that she is. And of course, Linda is a Spartan 2, and the Spartan 2s were augmented to have increased muscle growth, more so than a normal human would, and that could account for her size also. But I wanted to do that in case some of you plan on integrating her with the rest of Blue Team from the McFarlane Halo 5 figures, to show that it's not that big of an issue. Now, with the other figures in the Mattel line, it may be an issue. I'm not exactly sure if the Elite Zealot is exactly 6 inches tall as Linda is, or if he's taller. I don't have that one in hand yet. But just here with these figures, it's not a real issue. She really complements them very well. So one of the other things that I wanted to look at here just briefly are the sidearms. And you can see how large the Mattel M6 Magnum is compared to the McFarlane sidearm that Kelly has, which is much smaller. You can also see the difference in size of their hands, and that is something to take into consideration, because the Mattel figures are scaled larger than the McFarlane figures are. And that's something I was very surprised at when I first saw it in person. But again, it's not a real big issue for me as far as a collector. I have to say, just looking at this figure, that the armor section snapping into place make Linda look more realistic, and I'm sure it will be the same for Master Chief and the other Spartans. The armor just gives it a more realistic touch, whereas the McFarlane figures, the armor is molded as a piece of the action figure itself for the most part. There are some pieces on them that are molded separately with some figures, but with this figure, all these armor sections snap on, and I really appreciate that. That just makes it look far more realistic. And you can take her rifle and plug it in on the back, between her thruster pack back there, and you can see that she's just a really awesome looking figure. She has a nice balance to her. You can position her in just about any pose. There are 30 points of articulation, and we'll take a look at some of those now. Movement here in the shoulder area, and her shoulder is very limited in moving out because of the armor. Of course, she bends at the elbow, and you can see the joints there, and wrist joint there, hip joint twist in and out, of course, forward, and her knee joint there, and her ankle joint, and her torso twists, and very limited movement at the head up and down, but side to side it moves, and you could just get some really great poses out of this figure. And I just really appreciate the level of detail and the work that Mattel has put into these action figures. And in all honesty, when I first heard that Mattel had the master license, I said that I wouldn't buy any of their figures. And as I kept doing research and getting tidbits of information out, I became more intrigued and fascinated. And then when I had the actual product in hand, I was just completely blown away. And I just have to say hats off to Mattel, because they have done such a very, very awesome job on this figure. And I've seen photos of the other figures outside of the packages, and they look awesome as well. So if you're a Halo fan, I greatly encourage you to collect these. I have one mint in the box on the way. This figure was overnighted to me by Amazon just for the purpose of doing this video review. And I want to say a thank you to the customer service department there for making this happen. And if you're not a fan of Halo, or if you're just getting into Halo and you haven't been collecting, this is an awesome place to start. These figures are really, really well done. They are absolutely worth $20, and I would greatly encourage you to pick them up. So here you have the Mattel Series 1 Halo Spartan Linda action figure. I hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave your comments or questions down below the video, and please stop by our Facebook page, Orion's Belt Creations. Just now getting into customizing some of the boom code guns for Halo, and taking commissions on those, and we're going to be sharing more information about that in the very near future. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.